Hello everyone, myself Vaibhav. In today's session, we are seeing the S&P 500 inching towards the all-time highs, and if we look at its market performance so far, we have these sharp moves. Monday started with decline, and Tuesday onward, it has been upward momentum all the way till today. And I think moving forward also we are likely to see this bullish momentum continuing, and we will be looking at the possibility of S&P 500 continuing to rally higher. The week was, of course, dominated by the earning releases from various major companies in the United States. Even before the session started, we had these quarterly earnings from the American Express, Honeywell, Kimberly Clark, Nextra Energy, and one more major company of Sensient. And apart from these, we also got the financial results from the Twitter and Snapchat. And both these earnings are pointing to the robustness of the growth in consumer purchases, and that has boosted the sentiments for the day. And we have these fresh impetus in today's session. If you look at the PMI data which we had got in the European trading hours, there also we are seeing continued recovery in the euro area. We had the UK's PMI data also, and all these data points are pointing to the robustness of the ongoing recovery. And apart from slight decline which we observed in the services segment, the manufacturing is continuing to do quite well, but some moderation is being observed in the services segment. I will not really go into the final details now. You can, of course, refer to the original release for that. Moving to the US data points, we had these manufacturing PMI and the services PMI coming in from the market economics. And if you look at the manufacturing PMI, it is at the record high of 63.1 for the month of July. But at the same time, we have this contrast observed in the services segment where the PMI has dropped. It has dropped substantially, and now for this month it stands at 59.8 compared to the 64.6. And there are many reasons being attributed to this, and one of that is of course the ongoing labor shortages and difficulties acquiring new stock. So we will have to see how these things get resolved moving forward. Now let's shift our focus to the technical side, where we will first consider the outlook for the S&P 500, and afterwards we will also take a look on the Euro USD's price formation. Let's start with the S&P 500. This is the daily time frame chart, and here we are looking at the all-time high for the S&P 500. And it looks likely that if it continues to rise like this, the 5,000 mark is not really far off. It might take a couple of months, but as it looks, we are pretty much on the way to 5,000. But that's for another day. Now, moving to the short-term perspective, I think even now, after rallying higher and in a short span of time, the bullishness is going to last at least for next couple of sessions. Of course, we will have to be cautious, and we will have to wait for some correction, but the underlying momentum is bullish, and that means we have to keep searching for the buy trades. And on the higher side, some scalping kind of strategies can be adopted if you want to short it closer to the resistance. But for that also, the necessity of consolidation is going to be there, and only after due consolidation we can be fairly confident of shorting the S&P on higher levels. Now, looking at the lower time frame charting of 4 hours, we have this price action unfolding in this higher bracket of first resistance and second resistance of this must pivot point series. After this sharp decline, the regression curve had started to tilt on the lower side, but now that the price action is again back in upper band, I think it is more likely to flatten than continue its current trajectory. But given the substantial move which has already taken place. I think we will have to wait for some correction, and given the fact that S&P 500 is indeed trading close to these resistance of prior swing high, we can pretty much count on the S&P 500 to correct at least to some extent toward this level of 4,360, which is also this month's first resistance. And after the due consolidation, we can again bet on the rise of the S&P 500, and in course of time, the 4,500 mark can be reached. So if we want to trade in today's session, it's going to be a fairly difficult call. And rather than that, I would suggest that it will be better to simply sit on the sidelines and allow the price formation to solidify. On the higher side, we have this resistance in place. As I had explained to you on the 4 hourly chart, the price swing high was established closer to current levels, and as a result of that, I am expecting the current bullish momentum to subside to at least to some extent, and gains might become more incremental. In the market, you can't really be sure. Even substantial up move can happen in a couple of hours or in span of couple of hours. That can't be ruled out, but the probability is quite high that the gains are likely to be incremental, and the S&P 500 might go sideways, and we can wait it out and allow this SMA formation to catch up with the price action. We have this convergence of three SMAs happening close to 4,350, and that's not really far off. That's only 1 percentage point from the current valuation, and some correction and then do consolidation will get us better risk reward ratio, and we will be in position to optimize the trade. So that's my thinking looking at the current price formation of the S&P 500. Now similar story, but in an inverted manner, can be told about the Euro USD. So let's see what's happening there. Here, the momentum has been bearish, but the losses have become incremental. And for last couple of days, it has been more of sideways, with the range becoming very narrow of around 40 to 50 pips. In today's session also, there has not been much of a momentum in the Euro USD, and it has continued to oscillate closer to 1.175 on the lower side, and 1.178 on the higher side. And I'm not really expecting any big move in today's session, and only after we come back for trading on Monday, we are likely to see some sort of breakout either on the higher side or on the lower side, and that is going to open up the vista of opportunities for us. So, looking at the current formation of lower highs and lower lows, the underlying momentum is of course bearish, but the price action has been showing that some sort of support is there for the Euro USD closer to 1.175, and this is the level where the Euro USD is finding support so far for last 2 3 days, and only a breakout on the lower side will solidify the selling pressure, and in course of time we can expect the Euro USD to drop toward this first support of this month's pivot point series, which is there around closer to 1.17 level. And if we consider the regression curve, it has flattened and it is pointing to some recovery, the possibility of some recovery. But looking at yesterday's reaction and then almost sideways moves so far in the day, I am losing confidence in the Euro USD possible retracement on the higher side. And rather than that, it will be prudent for us to keep our temptation to go long in Euro USD in check, and allow its consolidation and a clear breakout to guide us. And only after that we can think about getting involved for a new position. So watch out for the price formation closer to these immediate swing lows. The price area of around 1.175 is going to be crucial moving forward, and any break on the lower side will open up the possibility of a fall on the lower levels towards 1.170. So that's what we are counting on. And on the higher side, I think Euro USD will need to climb towards 1.18 before we can think about, or we can start to think about going long. On these levels, it's best to avoid any long position, long exposure, and allow this consolidation to unfold. And of course, the underlying momentum is bearish, so we do have to keep that in mind. And that's my take looking at the current price formation of the Euro USD. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write to me in the feedback section, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Before I sign off, I would also like to remind of the risk associated with trading the financial instrument, and one should be careful while using the information provided. You can check out the Endoscopy Analytics page for the further coverage of the market development. You can start trading on the JForex platform. If there is any assistance required, you can write to me in the feedback section. And also, we are available on the Facebook. You can join our page there. Thank you all for joining in. Have a fabulous day ahead and the weekend. See you on Monday. Goodbye.